What is an absolute truth that no one wants to hear? Being around and positively engaging with people who disagree with you is one of the healthiest intellectual practices we can do. Positively engaging. Absolutely. The problem is that most people are unwilling to give you the courtesy of arguing in good faith, or opening their minds. Just because someone is related to you doesn't mean they are a good person. Edit. Thank you all for the awards. Good luck to those who have cut toxic family out of their lives, and those who are still trying to. Also, to add to this, just because someone is related to you, doesn't mean you have to like or tolerate them. Sometimes for people, friends are your true family because they accept you for who you are. They choose to stick around with you, not because they have to. I don't speak to my abusive father and never will again, nor his side of the family. I'm estranged from one of my sisters already and I don't like most of my extended family. I do not appreciate their morals. You can't control what happens to you, only how you react to it. Our stoicism wants you. Now I need a poster of Marcus Aurelius looking and pointing at me to go with this. Just because you love someone it doesn't mean they will love you back. No matter how hard you try to get them to, they just won't. Edit. Wow, I've never had so many upvotes or awards. Thank you guys for sharing your stories and opinions. It's funny because some of you talked about your ex. I was with my ex for 5 whole years and she suddenly fell out of love like snap that. I didn't understand. But this post isn't about her, and I didn't even think about her when posting it. I guess that means I'm truly over her. Now I just have to deal with the woman I did post this about. No one wants to hear your music in public, especially in class. No one wants to hear your music anywhere. It could be my favorite song ever, but if someone's blasting it in public, it's still annoying. We don't know everything and probably never will. You don't know that. Good one. Life is easier for attractive people. I once went on vacation with one of my very attractive friends. I was absolutely floored at the amount of people that just went out of their way to help us, give us free stuff, etc. But I also noticed if someone ever told her no she would lose her shit. She just wasn't used to it. This is why I'm glad I'm both attractive enough not to hate myself and used to failure. No matter how nice you are, people will still just be holes to you just cause. Edit. Thank you so much for the awards guys. As an avid people pleaser that takes it very personally when people don't like me. I have to remember this. Used to be a people pleaser myself. Some people really are simply pricks just because they can be. Don't ever take it personally. Their opinion of you isn't really any of your business. It's theirs alone. There's going to be a day where you are totally forgotten by everyone. After a generation or two after your death. No one alive will have any memories of you, your life, everything you did, and all of your struggles and achievements will all be forgotten. You'll just be another one of the billions of forgotten souls whose names, faces, and life stories have all been lost to time. Everyone's a hypocrite, even you. No you. Got M. Costco has tubs of 7 pounds nacho cheese for sale at $6.50 a piece. 7 pounds of nacho cheese works out to about 2,800 cm3. A typical bathtub has a volume of 160,000 cm3. Here are your volumes based on weights, approximately, and how many bottles you would need to fill up the tub. 120 pounds equals 50,000 cm3 means you need 40 tubs for $255. 150 pounds equals 70,000 cm3 means you need 32 tubs for $208. 200 pounds equals 90,000 cm3 means you need 25 tubs for $162.5. 250 pounds equals 110. 000 cm3 means you need 18 tubs for $116. See the trend? The fatter you get, the more cost effective it becomes to bathe in cheese. Edit. Thank you all for the votes and awards. I will reply when I get a chance. Thank you all so much. Glad my cheese knowledge came in handy and made so many of you laugh. Alright, hold up. 7 pounds of nacho cheese is only $6.50. at least pertaining to Reddit where US politics are concerned. We are not a good representation of the voting population in the United States. Mainstream Reddit and the Twitterverse are but a small part of actual voters. Regardless of how overwhelmingly in support of a candidate we all might be, it's not a good indicator of how much support someone, like Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders, actually have. Less a fact and more my opinion now. I think Reddit tends to do their political activism on Reddit only, to where they receive overwhelming support from other Reddit users. It does nothing for their actual community or spreading a message, while still giving them the satisfaction of having made an impact. I think it's important to remember not to get complacent just because a bunch of Reddit Twitter users support your views and your candidate. We are a very small portion of a much larger population, and we tend to do too much preaching to the choir, so to speak. That you need to uplift others to improve society and the world, but everyone is more focused on crushing those around them to ensure their current, or potential, position in the world. I've never understood why people are so obsessed with suppressing others just to feel good. Edit. I do understand this process and why they think this. I was unable to properly communicate my tone. They don't know how to improve themselves, but they know how to drag others down to increase their relative status. Just because you've been doing something longer than other people doesn't mean you're better at it. Driving, job role, sports etc. Edit, spelling and grammar, living, sex weight. No, keep going, let's see if I feel anything. There is always someone better than you. What about the best person? Because there is a finite number of people, someone must be at the top. Everyone loses to time, eventually. Yeah, but who does time lose to? Checkmate atheists. Your parents. Wait, people are actually having sex? I thought we were all kidding. Nah, my parents are virgins. That there are people who won't like you or agree with you and you won't be able to change their mind, so you just have to deal with it. Thanks for the award, kind sir, mom and pal. No one is at the wheel. There is no one leading the planet. Just powerful people, companies, and countries all struggling together against everyone else for power, money, and control. It's all driven by self-interest. All children are innocent, but they are not all good. Some people will grow up to be regardless of what they are exposed to. You're not supposed to label children as psychopaths, but some of them absolutely are. A lack of a conscience is something you're born with, and you can see these traits pretty early. There's always money in the banana stand, until you set it on fire. Things are going to keep getting worse on our planet, and we are in for some serious human tragedy. You are probably the cause of your own problems because you refuse to look within yourself and deal with it. To be explicit, some people do have a variety of problems that are imposed upon them for a variety of reasons. But that still doesn't mean responding in such a way that it exacerbates everything. Edit. I hedged what I said with probably for a reason and added the parenthetical bit. Some problems are not your fault individually, but it's still your responsibility to handle it. For example, no one asked to be in a pandemic, but here we are, and we've a responsibility to wear masks, socially distance, etc. If we don't do it for each other, then we can at least do it for ourselves. Your dog will probably die before you. Not with that attitude, it won't. I feel this is better than the alternative. I have a fear that I will die before my dog and he wouldn't understand and would think I just left him and never came back. If he dies first, I can handle all the pain so he doesn't have to. I find some comfort in that. You aren't special, and that doesn't mean you're any less worthy of respect or humanity than any other person. My mummy says I am. We are not all equal, in any sense. Corona may never go away and be in our lives forever in some capacity. Some people waiting for the 31st of December as if the virus has an expiry date. The people who bother you the most in your life probably do so because you're the most similar to them. This became insanely relatable after my kids started to move out of infancy and develop personalities. I have a much easier time dealing with my daughter than I do with my son. My wife is the opposite. We have both discussed this and realized that it's because our kids are literally tiny versions of our personalities. There are a lot of violent people out there and we aren't really doing much to change that. There are a lot of people hurting each other through sexual violence. And no one is ultimately making any effort to change that. Despite the fact that Reddit doesn't want to hear it, there are a lot of people who are attracted to young people. Throughout history, and today, and until we actually acknowledge that, we are never going to stop people from being abused. The best solution for gun violence in the US that everyone could agree on is targeting the causes of violence. Now there will be issues on specific methods which people will debate, but you would be 10 times more effective in getting movement in that area than by trying to fight the brick wall of gun control versus gun rights. And politicians are never going to do this unless citizens tell them to change focus. Educated people have beliefs too. Education alone is not a magic solution to issues. Anything about someone's dream. The MLM will never make you money. Britney. Although your parents say so, you cannot sing. Amy. You are not the smartest person in the world. Brandon. Name's random. And I said, what about breakfast? Tiffany.